What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to First Impressions. We're going to do this one a little bit different than we did the previous episode of this show. Today, obviously, as you can see, we are talking about Ball Pit, which is another game that I have in my rotation, of course, and a rotation full of games I should not be playing because I have a review series that is my primary focus, but now I have like 6 different video games going at one time, which is way too much for my ADHD-ridden fucking brain. Lovely. But I decided to start this game because my buddy at work, my coworker named Jason, recommended it to me. He's been talking it up, you know, and absolutely loves this game. So, of course, you know, anybody outside of my normal group of people talking about a video game gets me intrigued. So, anyways, this got me intrigued. So here we are, checking out Ball Pit. I've played for about 4 hours. So how we're going to structure this video, I'm going to do a run for you guys to start off. We'll go through a run, show you kind of how the gameplay works and all of that stuff. Once we get out of the run, then I'll talk about my thoughts and impressions on the video in kind of a more detailed perspective, because it's hard to think of all the things that I want to say during a run like in a game like this. So that's kind of how we're going to break it down. I'll leave timestamps down below for you guys for the detailed discussion, and then obviously the start of the run, so you can skip this horrendously long intro. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive in here. If you don't know what Ball Pit is a brick breaker roguelike, which is very cool, very unique, but not the first of its kind. There is actually a brick breaker idle game, roguelike game already created. It was an indie title on Steam, sold for like $2. Give me a second, I can give you the name. It's called Breaking Survivors. I apologize. It's called Breaking Survivors on Steam. It's much more basic, but it's been done before, but Ball Pit takes a unique approach. It's a very stylized game, which I really appreciate about it. But without further ado, without talking about it further, let's jump in and play some Ball Pit. So as you can see, here we are. This is my base. We're going to come back to the base after we do a run of the game, because I got a lot to say about the base building. And to be honest, I do not like it. So that's probably one of the things we'll get to in a second. Let's get to the actual good parts of the game, which are, in my opinion, the runs themselves. This game does have a really nice, unique feature where you do get bonus coins if you choose characters that the game kind of puts on for you. Same thing as like Hades, you get more resources if you use the weapon that is highlighted and things like that. I enjoy that. That forces you to have to play the game in a lot of different styles, which I appreciate. So that being said, we will go ahead and use the Coadjutator to get our 30% bonus coins. I just unlocked this character, and we'll go into character unlocks in the base building section. But let's go ahead and run with the Coadjutator and dive in and do a little run here. So, I am on the 3rd stage. We've completed the first 2, but we do have 5 undiscovered blueprints here in the snowy shores. So I believe we are just going to go ahead and start here. Instead of progressing further, and we will start unlocking some of these blueprints. So let's do that. Let's dive right in. So we're gonna go ahead and drop into the pit and get this run started. So this guy starts out with the laser, the vertical laser projectile, which is a great ball. I love that ball. But one of the biggest things that I have kind of issues with this game, and maybe it's just me because I'm stupid, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm playing this game wikiless, so I'm not looking at guides or anything. And there's a ton of ball evolutions that you can make in this game, and I'm having a hard time finding those combinations. So, I forgot the Coadjutator. I read his ability. He automatically picks upgrades for you. So this is not going to be a character that I enjoy using very much, but we'll see what happens here. Hopefully he picks the horizontal laser when it comes up so we can get the holy laser, which is a really fun evolution. But we'll see what happens. Maybe this will give me some more evolutions because maybe he's smarter than me. Maybe this game's character is smarter than I am in real life. It would not take much. Let's put it that way. But either way, this is not the greatest character to show off the game with because he's automatically doing upgrades for me, but we'll make do with what we got here. But as you can see here by the game, it's basically kind of a twin-stick shooter. where you just kind of send the balls up the screen and try to break the enemy bricks that are coming down at you. And then as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there's a little bit of basically a battle timer on the side. It's kind of behind my webcam, but there are 3 indicators that indicate bosses. So there's basically 2 in-stage bosses followed by a final boss at the end of the stage. Hopefully we'll be able to show you that. We'll see. It depends on how the coadjutor decides he wants to level me up. Not good to be this close to the bottom already. Okay, good save. So we'll see what happens. Light is a new ball I've never used before, so that's kind of cool. Have room for one more ball. Hopefully he's holding out for that vertical ball. Anyways, like I said, this is good thing I'm not trying to do the full review in the gameplay section because I'm all over the place here, brother. Okay, we're not getting we're not getting Holy Laser. Not great, but that's okay. We'll see what maybe he's got a plan in mind. But you do have to make sure when you play this game, unlike in some roguelikes, like where there's magnets and things like that, you got to make sure that you collect all of the experience on the board, because if it slides to the bottom of the board and disappears, that experience is gone forever. So you really want to make sure that you go ahead and grab all the experience gems on the map as you're playing through the run. And as far as the gameplay goes, I think it's actually pretty fun. I enjoy this part of the game. I enjoy this aspect. I just probably need to play the game with a wiki open. I mean, I had to do the same thing for Vampire Survivors, so I don't know why I'm being such a stifler or stickler about this particular point. But it is just a little bit frustrating that I'm having such a difficult time trying to figure out these evolutions, because there's a lot of times where I think balls would go together and could be created to evolve into one another, but they just don't seem to have an evolution. I don't know if that's just because I'm still relatively early in the game and maybe there are evolutions that just need to be unlocked or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it is a little bit frustrating, I will say that. I've had a little bit of quirks with that. I would say probably for the future, I will actually look some things up just to kind of make sure I'm not being stupid about it. Hopefully we can kill this boss here. This is not going good. Okay, we barely got him. Ended up losing a lot of experience because that guy was being such a butt. We do have an evolution. Yeah, he's gonna give me a new evolution. That's actually awesome. Venom and Rock. Poison and Rock's gonna give us Swamp, and I didn't even get to read it, you fucking punk. And then we're taking the dark. Can I look at the equipment? Perfect. Swamp Ball, level 1, 72 to 133 hit damage. Leaves behind tar blobs over time. Enemies who walk into tar blobs are dealt 19 to 38, are slowed by 50% for 7 seconds, and gain 1 stack of poison. Each stack of poison deals about 1 to 4 damage per second. This ball and its tar blobs also deal 7 to 14 damage to nearby units. Cool. New upgrade, I like that. There was actually a whole bunch of new evolutions there, so maybe this isn't a bad idea. This is a good character to use in place of a wiki to get some new upgrades, because this guy will do it for you. Gotta get another one here. Nice, we got light and vertical laser. Give us laser beam, which again, we get skipped quickly. Emit a laser beam on hit that deals 35 to 49 damage and blinds enemies for 8 seconds. I don't know what that means, but that could be really nice. That could be really nice if it means that I can hit enemies when they're at the bottom of the screen and not die. That would be huge for the program. See, I would only imagine that there's an upgrade for light and dark together. Make a fucking Niflheim or something, you know what I mean? That'd be cool if there's like a Niflheim ball. Shout out if you get the reference. But yeah, the gameplay in this game is fun. I enjoy the visual style. I enjoy the sound design. I think all of that stuff is actually really, really good. I'm mixed on the game solely for the base building, which again, we'll go into once we get to the base building mechanics in this game. I think it's a very unique idea, but I don't like the way it's executed, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Other than that, this run is going absolutely terribly right now because there's so many enemies at the bottom of the screen that we are most likely dead here. Definitely dead here. Oh, how the hell? We're so dead. We have no way to clear anything. We're so screwed. Yeah, we're so dead. We're unbelievably dead here. Grab the health. I mean, if we make it out of this alive, we're gods. We're definitely not. This guy's got a 3 stack right here. He missed. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, we might just pull it out of our ass. So anyways, this is the second boss. We already killed the first boss. We're on the second boss of the stage. I cannot believe we did not lose there. That is absolutely wild. What a save, bro. Okay, he's almost dead. He's on his last platform. Upgrading the Swamp Ball. Kind of want to parse the side a little bit. Plasma Ball's level 3 now as well, or Laser Beam. This is a little bad right here. Okay, we got him. Nice. I can't believe we're still alive. We should have been dead long. No, I hate Ethereal. New upgrade, though. Light and Dark. There we go. Give me a Niflheim Ball. Or Nephilim. Niflheim. Nephilim is what I meant the entire time. And we found a new blueprint. Sick. Lumberyard to harvest wood. Nice. We'll talk about that stuff in a second. But that is the... basically, it's the wood version of the farm. Which makes no sense to you guys, probably. Unless you played the game. Anyways, we're gonna collect a lot of these. We've got a lot of experience. We're actually kind of fucking right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm pretty pumped about this. Because we're gonna combine Laser Beam with the Swamp. Again, I'm not making these choices. This is all done by the Coadjutator as he unlocks an achievement for me. What a nice fella. Actually, I should probably look up what Flicker does. Deals 1 to 8 damage to every enemy on screen every 1.4 seconds. That's pretty sick. Not a lot of damage, but I'm sure we can get it leveled up and it'll do more. Archer's Effigy. But yeah, I think visually this game is appealing enough to definitely hook you. I really enjoy that. Like I said, the only thing I've really got complaints with as far as the game goes is the convolutedness of the upgrades when you play blind, but I think I answered that question right now by playing this guy who's probably just going to give me free evolutions by playing him because he makes all the choices for you. So, might have just solved my own problem, which is going to definitely increase my opinion of the gameplay because I'm not so lost all the time. But I do like how you can evolve balls and then you can also fuse evolved balls together. So I'm getting the bonus of the Swamp Ball and the Laser Beam Ball, but I've fused them together. So now the Laser Beam does the swamp effects, which is very, very, very cool. I'm a big fan of that. There's a lot of things you can do in this game, which is really, really cool. It's just a little overwhelming. I still think it's probably a game that would be best suited to be played with a wiki open. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I think it'd just help out. Make sure we get all this experience here as we are about to start the final boss. So I do get to show you the final boss. Final bosses in this area are very, very interesting to me. They're much more like bullet hells than I anticipated when I first started the game, but I actually enjoy what they're going for here. So, kind of reminds me of Ikaruga, reminds me of those space shooters from the early days of gaming. You gotta make sure you're really on top of your movement here. Okay, we killed the boss before he spawned. I guess. Okay. All right. I don't know what to think there. I don't know what to think there. Anyways, 3 new blueprints, which is nice. But anyways, that's the main gameplay that you're going to be doing in Ball Pit. Now let's head back to the base and we'll talk about the base mechanics, which in my opinion are unique, but not necessarily my favorite. So after every run, you come back to your farm or your base, and that's what you're seeing here. So this mechanic is how you unlock new characters. It is how you farm resources to upgrade these buildings, and all of the above. So essentially how this works is you come back to your base and you have these options for buildings. So for example, we have a single family home. If we do this, if we place this, which I don't have enough wood for, I can't really show this off properly if I don't have the wood for it, but let's just say, for example, that we placed this building. This building we just placed is called the Military Academy. This is the same as a single family home. This will unlock a new character, but to unlock the character, we have to place it in our base, and we have to bounce workers off of the building 8 times in order to unlock the character that is housed at the Military Academy. Now, for every character that you unlock, so for example, let me back up here. If we go into the play mode, we have 6 characters. Because I have 6 characters unlocked, I technically have 6 workers that I can send into this to bounce off of these buildings to unlock characters. From what you saw a second ago, I need a lot more wood in order to build the next character building, the single family home. I'm having a fucking stroke here. I'm trying not to, but I am having a stroke. So what I should actually do is reorganize this. So give me a second. I'm probably just gonna cut right here as I reorganize my base to get everything reorganized, and we'll come back and we'll show you what we did. So sit tight. I'm gonna make some adjustments. Alright guys, Cam from the future here. I'm an idiot and forgot to unmute the mic for this, but here is basically how you unlock these buildings. We're gonna go ahead and shoot our characters here. Try to get as many of these buildings as possible, and hopefully one of them will go over and hit that lumberyard that we built over in the top left-hand corner. We will see. My voice doesn't match my lips because I'm a fucking idiot. So, anyways, eventually, there we go. So now we're shooting, as you can see, we're building these by hitting them. Got the 2 main buildings done, and a couple of them even touched the lumberyard. You love to fucking see that. But that's basically the base building mechanics of the game. As you can see, we ended up completing 2 buildings and then got some resources along the way as well, which pretty nice, not gonna lie. And as you can see here, you can also upgrade buildings and things like that. So pretty cool stuff. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this here as I continue to fiddle around and talk without you hearing me. So, anyways, let's get to the conclusion, shall we? God damn, what a fucking shit show. Okay, sorry about that, having to do the voiceover. I left my mic muted because I'm a fucking idiot. What a surprise. Anyways, let's talk about the game as a whole now. If you didn't watch the gameplay, I really enjoy the actual run-based system in the game where you go into each world and you basically break all the enemy bricks along the way, fighting the bosses and things like that. I think all of that stuff is actually very fun. The music is absolutely amazing. Very chill, very nice to pop some headphones on and just listen to. I think all that stuff is very, very well done, and I'm sure this is a very small team. Devolver Digital picked this game up, but it was made by Kenny's son and friends, I believe, so it's probably a pretty small development team, and they got a lot of great assets in here. On top of that, the creativity level, very, very high as well. The one thing I complained about during the gameplay section was the fact that I don't like having to figure out the ball synergies kind of by myself, and I have been playing this game without a wiki. It's a very weird complaint because I played Vampire Survivors with the wiki open the entire time, and I don't know why I'm being a stubborn fuck about this game in particular, but I am for some reason, so I just need to play this game with the wiki open so I can unlock new synergies a little bit easier, and then I'm sure the game will feel a lot better as far as that goes. And of course, we just unlocked that new character that we played this run with, the Coadjutator, that automatically picks upgrades for you, and he just gave me a whole bunch of new evolutions. So maybe I need to play that character more, and I'll start to unlock the roster. But that being said, the gameplay itself, very fun, very addicting, and I find it very, very engaging. So that stuff is all great. The base mechanics for me, though, are not my favorite thing in the world. It's very, very fitting for this game. I like the creativity behind it, being that, you know, you have this base building mechanic where you have to essentially do what you would do in the runs by shooting your workers out in order to build these buildings, but that is how you unlock characters in the game. Once you collect the blueprint for the character in a stage, you then come back to your base, you put their building on the base, and you have to shoot workers off of it to unlock them. In theory, I think that's great. However, I just constantly find myself getting done with the run and then knowing that I have to set up a choke point on my base somewhere so I can unlock the new character, and I just find that to be rather frustrating. I will say the addition of the farm and the lumberyard here that I just placed, those are massive upgrades because I don't necessarily have to fight myself between doing a resource run or doing a character unlock run or a skill unlock run, because that's not really there because these things are now automated. And as I can clearly tell, there's a lot more to this system that I will get into later that will hopefully make the base mechanic more enjoyable. But putting those things together, as high as I enjoy the gameplay, I dislike the base building stuff just as much, which pretty much leaves me at kind of a middling experience. Again, this could very easily change as we progress through the game and as this system gets a little bit more fleshed out. Hopefully I will stop dreading coming back here to do stuff like this, but only time will tell. We'll kind of have to wait and see. So yeah, pretty middling on the game right now, but I would love to know what you guys think down below. So let me know what you think in the comments, what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying. Maybe you can let me know if things get better as time goes on with the game and things like that. I would love to hear all of those thoughts down below, but that's kind of all I got for the first impressions. I would say we'll end up doing a review on this game, but it's not going to be an after the credits review. I don't think there's going to be credits for this game. It's going to end up just being after so many hours review, similar to how we're going to end up having to do Mega Bonk as well, but we'll still try to get a review out for this one a little bit later on once I get further into the unlocked system. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys a little bit later on for another video. Hopefully an after the credits. I don't know though, because I'm getting distracted by roguelikes constantly, so I guess we'll see. Either way, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. We will see you guys on the next one.